Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Sarah Drake.
And I'm Briana Jones. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics.
The Trojan baseball team picked up their second conference series win after a victory over Georgia State on Saturday. Troy strung together 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to take the Sunbelt Series with an 8-2 win Saturday at Riddle Pace Field. Freshman Manning Early drove in half of those 8 inning runs by hitting a home run over the wall in right field. Early finished the game 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Darren Osby improved on his undefeated record with 7 solid innings on the mound, giving up just 2 runs and striking out 7 batters. Lance Johnson picked up his first save of the season, taking over for Osby in the 8th, and head coach Mark Smart talks about how the team battled against adversity.
Proud of our team. We had a little bit of adversity on the format. We had 3 innings Thursday, and then the rains got us, slid it into Friday. Had a game in 2/3. It's hard to prepare for that, but we responded great in the first game. And then we had a tough loss in the second game, 9th inning breakdown, got beat 5-2. So we responded Saturday with a really good effort. Darren Osby was terrific. We won 8-3, very comfortable. Really proud of our team for bouncing back and getting that third game to win the series, which was critical for our team going forward.
The Trojan softball team wasn't so lucky against Georgia State, dropping a pair of games on Saturday to the Panthers. Troy dropped the game 3-2. That game went 12 innings, the longest the Trojans have seen so far this season. 9 of the 10 Troy batters in the game posted a hit in the loss with Talia Truitt and Logan Calhoun, paving the way with 3 apiece. Game 2 was a bit more decisive as Georgia State took the conference series with a 6-3 win over Troy to round out Saturday's doubleheader. The Panthers had a 6-0 lead after 2 innings, aided by a grand slam in the second. The defense didn't allow another run, but the offense couldn't catch up.
The Trojan baseball team traveled to Oxford on Wednesday for a midweek matchup against the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Troy rattled off 10 runs in the top of the 7th inning to propel them to a wild 16-13 victory over the in-state rival. The Trojans scored the most runs in an inning in 8 seasons in response to a 6-run inning by the Gamecocks in the frame before. 9 consecutive batters reached base safely with 1 out in the 7th before a 2-base error and a monster home run from Rigby Mosley capped off the scoring and effectively sealed the game for Troy. Mosley led the Trojans at the plate with a 3-for-5 game with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Overall, 8 different Trojans drove in at least 1 run and recorded at least 1 hit, while 9 scored at least 1 run in the game.
And baseball infielder Drew Frederick was named the Sunbelt Player of the Week by the league on Tuesday. The sophomore batted 8 for 21 with 2 homers, 7 runs driven in, 6 runs scored, and a 667 slugging percentage. He also added a stolen base to take his team leading total to 14 on the season, just 1 behind the conference leader. Frederick is the 3rd Trojan to bring home Conference Player of the Week honors in just 7 weeks this season. Matt Sanders won it after the opening weekend of the year, and Joey Dennison did the same just 2 weeks later.
Wednesday night at the Trojan softball complex, Troy and FAMU played a doubleheader with each team winning a game. In Game 1, an 8-run second inning powered the Trojans to a 9-1 win over the Rattlers. FAMU cut Troy's lead to 4, scoring 1 run on a single up the middle, but the Trojan defense took care of the business for the remainder of the game. In Game 2, the Rattlers squeaked by with a win 4-3. Neither team plated a run until the 3rd inning when the Rattlers struck first. 3 singles in the inning allowed 1 run to come across. Troy answered back, scoring all 3 of its runs in the home half of the 3rd, but it wouldn't be enough.
The Trojan track and field team faced some of the toughest competition of the season so far at the Florida Relays and came out with a few top 8 finishes against some of the nation's top track and field teams. The best finish of the day came from Michael Avernez, who finished 2nd in the hammer throw with a new personal best 63.09 meter throw. Overall, Troy had 6 top 8 finishes on the day, but as head coach Mark Davis says, sometimes that's not enough.
It was good. We had 9 personal records, 3 school records. We came out of it doing really, really well. And I said this the other day, usually I'd be ecstatic after we did that well, but we still left some things on the table. And we have to execute a little bit better in a lot of different areas. You know, one, we have that learning curve with the younger freshmen, sophomores, that they still don't have that big stage experience, and they're starting to get it. And it's kind of good that they're getting it early. But I think there's some things we need to improve on quickly.
The women's tennis team is only 2 matches away from competing in the Sunbelt Conference tournament during riding a 2-game winning streak over Georgia State and Alabama A&M. The team celebrated their seniors the day before their last match, and head coach Briana talks about how a win was a good celebration for the ladies.
We played at home. We played at Alabama A&M. We actually celebrated senior day just the day before the last home match. So it was good. We get a chance at least, to we had more time that day. Get a chance to celebrate after, and basically it's more of a thank you for the players that have been here for four seasons with us, and some of them been 3 seasons. So it's our senior class, the first recruiting class I had as basically as a head coach. So it's a big thing.
The Trojan women's tennis match at the Lunsford Tennis Complex for their last home match this season was successful as the team downed in-state opponent Alabama State 6-1 Tuesday afternoon. Freshman Peju Shea and Maria Casas-Blas picked up the Trojans' first win of the day, while seniors Jiwon Yu and Efralia Herlina battled and eventually came out on top. Shea started singles competition with a 6-2, 6-2, followed by a win from Sine Ota to give Troy a 3-0 lead. The match was clinched by Yu, who also delivered a win, and with the game already in the bag for the Trojans. Freshman Mattia Mihavalek and senior Nancy Karaki added to the point total, giving the Trojans 6 total points on the day.
Led by a trio of top 11 individual finishes, the Troy women's golf team claimed its first team title under first-year head coach Randy Keck, as the Trojans won the Mimosa Hills Intercollegiate at the Mimosa Hills Country Club. Troy shot 10 over in Monday's final round to erase a 2-shot deficit and claim the championship. The Trojans entered Monday tied for second with Elan at 2 shots back of clubhouse leader Woodford. The Trojans' final round, 298, tied with USC, Upstate, and App State for the low round of the day, while Woodford played a tie for fourth after 310. Troy wrapped the 36-hole event with its second lowest 2-round score of the season after turning in a card of 595, while the 2 rounds were the Trojans' second and third consecutive sub-300 rounds dating back to the Hensler Financial Intercollegiate. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan baseball team's matchup against Appalachian State.
But first, Sarah sits down with baseball's Darren Osby. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.